Sister Wives, Signs. Gwendlyn Brown has forgiven Meri after past allegations. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Sister Wives star. Meri Brown hasn't always had the best relationships with all of Kody Brown's children, but she seems to have recently reconnected with Gwendlyn Brown. Meri was the first wife of the polygamist patriarch, and Gwendlyn is his daughter with his third wife, Christine Brown. Kody had 4 wives and 18 children in total, so the family tree can get pretty complicated. When the series premiered in 2010, the Browns appeared to be a happy family. Despite their polygamous lifestyle, they seemed like a mostly functional, loving household. That all changed as the years went on and the cameras continued rolling. By the time Sister Wives Season 19 premiered almost 15 years later, the family had fractured completely. Of Kody's 4 wives, 3 had left the plural marriage. Their departures were not on friendly terms, as years of tension and unresolved issues lingered. Many of Kody's older children barely spoke to him. Some had cut off contact entirely. Though the Browns are no longer a united family, Meri and Gwendlyn recently shared a positive moment on social media. The controversy began in 2023 when Kody Brown, one of Kody's sons, appeared on YouTube Live with John Yates. During the lengthy interview, Kody described Meri as mean and abrasive. He said, "Meri was not nice. Abrasive is not enough of a word to explain what Meri was to a few of us children specifically." He hinted that her behavior went beyond just harsh words, but chose not to elaborate further, saying he wanted to be respectful to his mother, Christine. Following Kody's interview, Gwendlyn responded to the claims on her Patreon page, where she seemed to support his comments. She wrote that Meri could be scary during her childhood. Gwendlyn also shared that Meri had been unkind to her sister and fellow Sister Wives Season 19 cast member, Kody Brown. Meri had moments where she was rude and scary, but I don't remember her acting out physically except for one incident with Kody, she wrote. Gwendlyn added that she believes people can grow and everyone deserves a second chance. Whatever happened in the past, Meri and Gwendlyn seem to have moved beyond it. Meri recently took a solo road trip to Boston and shared highlights from her journey on Instagram. "So, a few weeks ago, I embarked on my solo trip across the country," she wrote in the caption, accompanied by photos from the city. Gwendlyn commented on the post, saying, "Love the adventures," a clear sign of support and positivity between the two. By the time Meri left the family, she had distanced herself from almost everyone. She was no longer speaking with Robyn and Kody and had already parted ways with Janelle and Christine. Although many expected her to feel isolated, Meri found strength in her own social network. And even though she has moved forward in her life, she hasn't completely disconnected from the Browns. When the family came together to mourn the loss of 25-year-old Garrison Brown, Meri was there standing with the rest of them. I don't think that the Sister Wives drama between Kody Brown and his exes Meri and Janelle Brown is over, despite their settling of the Coyote Pass property, as Kody still has loose ends. Sister Wives Season 19 has been split into 2 parts that aired a few months apart. Episodes 1-20 aired from September 2024 to early February 2025, and the second part of the season began on April 20th. The second part only featured 5 regular episodes, and the tell-all episodes are currently airing. Coyote Pass was meant to represent Kody's polygamous dream. He wanted to live in harmony with his 4 wives, each having separate residences, and with his kids all in one place. However, with the dissolution of his relationships, the property became a source of sadness and nostalgia for what could have been. Even though Coyote Pass is settled monetarily, it's common knowledge that Kody has a hard time letting things go. That property signified a lot for him, and though it might be behind him, the emotional weight remains. Meri and Janelle received a fair payout of $375,000 each, but Kody has demonstrated selfish tendencies, as evidenced by his larger share in the property and his subsequent $2.1 million home purchase with Robyn. For context, Christine sold her share to Kody for $10 upon leaving him. During Sister Wives Season 19, Kody expressed that he felt his exes were disloyal, and he may still harbor resentment, not just over the property division, but over the fact that all 3 wives left him, which suggests the underlying issue was Kody himself. Another point of tension is Kody's ongoing favoritism toward Robyn. He often makes remarks in interviews, knowing Meri and Janelle will hear. that Robyn has always been his soulmate and that he gave his exes chances to meet the standards Robyn set. That narrative, which he has continued to push in the Sister Wives Season 19 tell-all, is hurtful and complicated for Meri and Janelle. The loose end I'm referring to is Kody's fractured relationships with his children. He's on poor or non-existent terms with many of his kids from his marriages to Meri, Janelle, and Christine. However, he may be seeking to change that in the wake of Garrison Brown's passing. If he chooses to focus on healing those bonds instead of reflecting on his own behavior, it could lead to more drama. As long as Sister Wives continues, the lives of Kody and his exes will remain interconnected. Since Kody tends to speak without a filter and becomes defensive when he feels wronged, there's a real possibility of more conflict, especially with Meri and Janelle, since Christine has distanced herself the most. When you marry into plural marriage, at least in our faith, Meri explained during the June 1st one-on-one special, you are expected to become more than you are. In other words, with multiple marriages comes greater responsibility. As a husband to Meri, Christine, Robyn, and Janelle, he was expected to make those relationships, all of them, work, she emphasized. While the marriages didn't need to be perfectly equal, Janelle noted, it was the husband's duty to address the needs of each relationship. Janelle believed that part of the collapse stemmed from Kody's inability to fulfill that responsibility, especially when he chose to isolate with Robyn and her children during the pandemic. Dayton, 25, Aurora, 23, Brianna, 21, Solomon, 13, and Ariella, 9. I think he really did, especially during COVID. Just kind of throw in the towel, Janelle reflected. Like, you guys don't like each other. I'm tired. This is too much for me. She added, he sort of had a meltdown. And after that moment passed, his first 3 wives chose to move on. He doesn't embrace the culture anymore. Everyone has left the church, Janelle added, referring to the Apostolic United Brethren. But as far as what is expected of a man in plural marriage, he failed. And Janelle isn't the only one who feels that way. In the polygamist world, if a man loses 3 of his wives, Christine said during the same June 1st special, the problem is with the man. When you see that happen in a family, people just say, yeah, that's him. That's all on him. It's the kind of emotional weight that could leave someone feeling deeply wounded. When asked by host Sukanya Krishnan whether she thought that reality was difficult for Kody to accept, Christine replied, I think it must be. He had this dream and vision of something beautiful and perfect. But instead of accepting that bitter medicine, he puts it on all of us for leaving, noted Christine. And it's like before we left, it was broken. Before we left, everything had fallen apart. Because if you ask Gwendlyn Brown, one of Christine's 6 children with Kody, their relationship was unraveling well before the stay-at-home orders were handed down. I felt like they should have divorced for a while, the 23-year-old recently admitted to Teen Vogue. I remember one time as a kid, I saw them arguing, and my first thought was, I hope they get a divorce. What kid thinks that, right? Of course, she's not the only Sister Wives standout sharing her truth. See what the TLC series other stars have detailed about their infamous brood. Kody Brown insisted he was ready to separate from first wife Meri Brown shortly after their 1990 vows. But he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, oh, Meri, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us. Meri shared in the Sep 15 premiere, referencing their 2018 move. Like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years. Her main frustration, she shared, is his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want, and the story that he's been telling for all these years. And while Kody acknowledged that there may have been mixed messages, it was only because as he started to work on things, I'm like, why would I do this? He explained, I would not court and date her now. They're like, okay, we're here for you, we're supporting you. And it's about time, she confessed. Blinders off, she now feels that he had been trying to get her to walk away for years by insisting he didn't love her. Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away. Years after the family purchased the 14-acre plot of land they planned to build on in Flagstaff, Arias, Kody confessed in the season premiere that he was ready to let the dream wither. unable to build without paying off the full $820,000 price tag, which the family reportedly did in 2023. He told remaining wife Robyn Brown, "I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it and then just start again somewhere else." While second wife Janelle Brown previously told E! News, "We just kind of started to grow apart." Ultimately, it was Kody's behavior as a parent to some of their kids that pushed her to leave. "The big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it," explained the mom to Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, and Savannah Brown. "And I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here." Even when Kody broached the idea of reconciling in the Navara 3 episode, it was a non-negotiable for Janelle. "I don't know how I would ever reconcile with him and have him not have a relationship with my kids," she said. "No, I'm going to always choose my kids." That was the explanation Kody gave for not working harder to mend the rifts he was experiencing with several of his adult children. "I don't fit in the family anymore," he said in the Sep 15 episode, noting he was still fully married to Robyn and parenting their 5 kids together: Dayton Brown, Aurora Brown, Brianna Brown, Solomon Brown, and Ariella Brown. He added, "And then I have some relationship with some of the other kids, and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family." Despite being truly monogamous for the first time in their 14-year union, "We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage," Robyn confessed in the season 19 premiere. "It's been tough between us. He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. Kody's feeling a lot of rejection, and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, 'Are you going to reject me too?' As a result," she revealed, "I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure that he is not sabotaging our relationship." "The hardest part," she summed up. "There's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces." Kody, meanwhile, was having a crisis of confidence, sharing, "I can't look myself in the mirror and say, 'Hey dude, I love you.'" For Robyn, it was a struggle to watch her former sister wives embrace their new era. "They're all moving on," she noted in the Octar 27 episode. "I feel like the one that got left behind." Add Janelle's eldest daughter, Madison, to the list of kids Kody doesn't currently have a relationship with. "I know that Maddie has not had any conversations with her dad," Janelle explained during the premiere. "He's not called, she's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robyn. She's pretty much written them both off." "At issue," said Janelle, "is Kody having a half-hearted relationship with Maddie's kids, Axel, Evangeline, and Josephine. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to it." As a result, Janelle shared in the Sep 22 episode, Kody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister was married to Kody's brother, when the family started to really dissolve. With Kody not visiting or calling, Maddie has been mama bear to the extreme, added Janelle. "She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic, it's probably better if they don't have contact with him." And while Robyn noted she's been encouraging Kody to reach out and mend things, she said, "I think the kids should be doing the same thing too." For now, though, Kody doesn't seem ready to repair the rift, saying that every time he spoke to his daughter, "It felt like a fishing expedition for gossip, and I got tired of it." Love is meant to be multiplied, not subtracted. And yet Kody admitted he did just that with his previous claims that he never loved his ex-wives. "It's more of a knee-jerk reaction," he said during the June 15th one-on-one special, insisting he was reeling from them, criticizing him. "I was deep in the throes of emotional frustration for the past 3 years. Which is why," he said, he alluded to Meri that he never truly loved her while they were spending their anniversary together. Recounting the conversation to a friend in a September 2024 episode, Meri insisted she knew he loved her. But if he didn't, the mother of Leon Brown said in a confessional, "Why did he ever propose?" When a single young man meets a single young woman, why would he choose to marry her and try to create love when he didn't actually feel it? She wondered. How unkind is that? To pick me out of a crowd and say, "I choose you to try to love for the next 32 years. Kody's response in his own confessional, "Oh, Meri has her version of things now." He also shared that they never experienced a honeymoon period. This marriage was rocky from the start. He insisted on the Octa 20 episode. And how would I know that? Because I had stronger relationships with Janelle, Christine, and Robin. But he stayed out of fear, noting, "Leadership won't let you marry again if you're seen as discarding wives." Though she was undecided on whether to build on Coyote Pass or sell it off, Janelle noted that the first step was paying off the Arizona property. And with Kody unwilling to discuss it, she said, "I think I'm gonna have to get legal help." She confessed to former sister wife Christine Brown in the Sep 22 episode, "Because I think that's the only way I'm going to get any kind of resolution." Janelle acknowledged that without a legal marriage to Kody, I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Kody's property. As she put it, "It's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to get a divorce. No, it's really complicated because there's no legal marriage." Kody's explanation for not talking with Janelle about their Arizona property was that he no longer trusted her. "We'll pay off the property when the time comes," he said in a confessional during the Sep 22 episode. "And I'm not giving you any details because I'm tired of sharing information that gets passed around in our fractured family." "A bit of the pot calling the kettle black," Janelle said in her own interview. "He talks more than anyone," she added. "He told me things about his other relationships that I don't think I should have known." Back when the family's love was still unified, they used to pool their money into one account. "We would use all the resources to help one person, then we would all rally to support the next," Janelle explained on the Septard 22 episode. "That's how it always worked until the last 10 years or so, and then it became about individual assets and estates." So when Robin needed a home in Arizona, they all helped purchase her $1.65 million 5-bedroom house. The intention was that it would be a shared family asset, said Robin. But when Janelle suggested everyone put their names on the mortgage, she was shut down. Kody was like, "No, we need to protect Robin's estate," Janelle recalled. Now that she's distancing herself from the family, Janelle said she wants her share of the Coyote Pass proceeds, and "I'd like to recoup some of the money I put into Robin's house." "We worked together for so long," noted Robin. And regarding Janelle's claim, Robin added, "It's like, how do you calculate that? It's really confusing." Frustrated about the family's failure to pay off Coyote Pass, Janelle said Kody claimed he had all these other debts. Yet she's seen him make other purchases like trailers and home decor. "I see all the art on their walls," she said of Robin and Kody's house. "And that's fine. I have money, and I've spent it on things too." Kody said much of his cash went toward buying cars, basically had a fleet, and insurance for the kids. While Janelle said she wasn't sure how Kody and Robin managed their finances, she added, "I used to always be surprised at how nice her backyard was. It was fully landscaped, and there was always something new at her house. I was like, wow, okay. Bottom line," she said, "he doesn't prioritize what I need or want." And that issue eventually wore her down. "I think after a while I began to see it, and my kids were getting very upset about it. Like my adult children. They were like, 'What is going on, Mom?' Robin's take was that she became careful with money after her first marriage ended. "I used to be bad with money," she said during the Septify 22 episode, "but I learned how to budget well after my divorce." As for her fellow sister wives, she added, "Maybe you just had different financial priorities than I did, that's all." At present, Janelle acknowledged in the Sep 22 episode that while she and Christine, mom to Aspen Brown, McKelty Brown-Padron, Pedon Brown, Gwendlyn Brown, Isabel Brown, and Truly Brown, get together with their children, there's really no contact with Meri, Robin, or Kody. I don't think that's going to change much. She called their time with 4 homes on one cul-de-sac in Las Vegas. "The best time of my life," Kody said. "Everything was going along smoothly, and Maddie and Caleb were around, and it was great having them around. And I loved Caleb. He was definitely like family." But things started to fall apart in Arizona as they clashed over coronavirus-related precautions. Then when his marriages fell apart, he said, his bonds with the kids followed. It just made all those relationships go sour. "All the kids that were frustrated way before I left," she said on the Sept 22 episode. "My leaving didn't change his kids' relationship with him. Kody can still fix his relationships with his children. Though it'll definitely take some work. I'm so angry about how I've been treated that I haven't gotten past that, Kody explained. Here's the thing. I'm not willing to take blame for things that my wife or